Hello YouTube friends, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome to the Painted South. If you've watched any of my recent videos, you know I've been mentioning about a garden room. You may have seen some of the videos of the things that we've been doing in that room, and if you're new here, I will link those videos in the description box below. But briefly, to sum it up, we had this sort of awkward room that was called a den on the blueprints for the house, and it was just a really odd space. We really didn't need another seating area, so to speak, for lots of furniture. We have a living room, and then we sit mainly in the kitchen in the little seating keeping area. So we really didn't need more couches and so forth in this room. Maybe we might put one, but it was basically right outside of the laundry room, and it's kind of a pass-through hallway, and then this little area, and then the laundry room, and then you go out into the screen porch. And so what we've done is we did hire a plumber to move the plumbing into a storage room, and that's going to be our new laundry room. Now I will tell you this, if you saw the other videos, we were going to get a stackable. We did order the stackable, and when it showed up, it was damaged. So we had the plumbing moved, and they cut off the plumbing for the other room. So the plumbing was already moved. The set showed up and it was damaged when they were getting off the truck. So they came in, they're like, hey, this is damaged. Do you still want it? And they were going to offer us a tiny discount. And we just decided, no, if we're going to do this room right, we're just going to wait. So we sent it back, and we'll just get another set later. So in the meantime, my husband rigged it up where the dryer vent would reach, because we were going to go to a stackable, and now it's the same, top and front loading washer and dryer. So it ended up fitting in there, and it's been working fine. So the laundry room's going to be on the back burner while we finish these other rooms. When we do it, I want to do it right, and I just didn't want a damaged set. Hindsight, I probably should have taken the discount and we'd have a stackable in there, but I don't know. I wasn't being very patient that day, and I just didn't want to pay all that money and have damaged goods. So anyway, we sent that back. So our laundry room has been moved, and it is in that storage room. And we will be putting a wet bar where that was in the future. Right now, we've got to get this garden room done, and then we'll work on the next project, and so on and so forth. So we're taking our time. This is not HGTV. I know a lot of people get very impatient when they are watching videos, because you can now watch an entire year or 2 years renovation that someone has done in a YouTube short or a little Facebook reel that is like 10 to 30 seconds, sometimes up to a minute. But that's just not real life, and I am not at that point yet, so I am sharing videos along the way. So today I will show you the update of the trim that we've added. I finished the texture on the arch, and I might need some help picking out a color for this room, you guys. I am in design analysis paralysis. Like, I want to do so much for this house, and in this room, I want to make it amazing. I want it to be special, but I also want to keep it kind of at the same level as the rest of the house. Like, you can't go too overboard. Should we ever decide to sell this house, I don't want someone to walk in and be like, oh, you have a circus room. It needs to kind of fit in and still make sense for the future, and if we decide that we want to use it for something else later on. So that's sort of where I'm at. I don't want to go too over the top, but I do want to make it look really great. So I will show you that room, and you can give me your opinions on the color. I'll show you maybe a few pictures. And then we went to Charleston yesterday, and my husband had surgery, and we had to go to, that's why this has been taking a little while. We had to make a trip to Charleston, stay there a couple of days, and then we had to go back a week later for a checkup, and then we just went back for the 2-week checkup, and that was yesterday. And so we went down to Charleston. Now Hurricane Debbie's been going on, and so there's just been a ton of rain, and yesterday was beautiful, and today's beautiful. So we missed all the weather except when we were leaving yesterday evening. We hit another band of the clouds and rain, but it was fine. We were able to get home just fine. But I do have some photos and some footage of those awesome clouds, even though, it was kind of not good for a lot of people. Nature still is beautiful, even when it's kind of terrifying. But so we had a great trip yesterday, a really good day, and I went to this store. We were about to get back on the highway to head home, and I saw a store with all of this garden stuff sitting out in the front, and I wanted to stop. I was going to go to At Home. There's an At Home in North Charleston, but I saw this store and I saw all this stuff outside, and I was like, oh, I got to turn around. So I turned around and went into that store. It was kind of like an antique mall where they had lots of booths, lots of vendors. You know, I love those stores. And so that's where we went, and I got a little bit of footage. I'm going to share that store with you. I will share their information. The owners were amazing, super nice. We enjoyed looking around in there, and I did get a few things. So as you know, I'm not going too crazy shopping, but I am going to shop. That's just my nature. And so however many things I purchased yesterday, I'm trying to think, one, two, I think it was like 6 or 7. However many things I purchased yesterday, which I'm about to show you that haul as well, I will be getting rid of at least that many items. If I'm bringing things into the house, I am purging and getting rid of other things. So to sum it up, today we're going to be looking at the garden room. We're going to go right now. I will also let you see all of the footage from yesterday and then show you the haul at the end of the video. So let's get started. All right, so here is that garden room I was talking about. The lighting's not the best, so please forgive me. Let me kind of go to this side. It's so hot outside, you can see the condensation there on the window. But this is the archway that my husband built, and I put texture on it. I will get some close-ups of that in just a few minutes. We will be removing that ceiling fan, and I'm not sure what to do about lighting. So what we've done is, of course, you've probably seen we added the trim around the doorways. We went ahead, well, my husband did, and we're going to do that little trick where you add the piece of molding above the baseboard a couple of inches and then paint it all white so it looks a little bit bigger or whatever color, because we have all that really small baseboard and it's not very substantial, especially against like this column. So that's what we've done there. Now, one of the questions is, let me step back this way. I have to finish the texture on the brick here. And we went ahead, my husband added this. These are actually fence boards, and then he ripped one down and put it on top here. This is exactly what he did in our living room. So we mimicked that on this side, and I'll insert some photographs or footage of how that will look when it's all done and textured and painted. So that's what we kind of did here. And that will all look very good when it's done. The question is, do I paint everything the same color as the wall? Do I paint the archway to stand out, or do I just paint everything kind of the same color? And the color I was thinking was an antique white, which is here. This is antique white. It is that pre-mixed color that is at Walmart, believe it or not. I know you can't really tell, but it's just kind of a nice off-white. Doesn't have too much like pink or anything in it. I mean, just a little bit. It is a little warm, but I don't really want gray. I've been trying different colors. I've had just different warm colors, and I know you can't really see well on the video here because the lighting's bad, and that's something that I'm fighting with. I'm fighting with the terrible lighting in here. So there's a dark green, and then this was a blue, which is a definite no. Let's see if this is a little better. So here are some of those colors. This one is a little more gray. This is that antique white. That's some blue that got on there. But I'm not really sure what color to do. So this is how the texture is looking so far on these columns and the corbels. I think it looks a lot better in person. It's always hard for me to capture everything on video. But lots of texture and distressing and pits and everything. I want it to look kind of like stone. Right now it's looking kind of like a pumice stone. So it has a lot going on. I'm really liking it. Now I've been testing different colors on here, so it's not going to be this color. But I do really like the texture, and everything will look better when it's all cleaned up and everything's painted and edged and so forth. So that's what I've gotten done so far. So you'll have to let me know your thoughts, what you think I should do with the color of the column, and also the wall color, and should I paint the bricks like brick and like I have in the kitchen, or should I paint them all the wall color and everything kind of be the same, kind of like that antique white right over there. So that's what I'm thinking about. I will also insert some photographs of my inspiration for this garden room, and they are very colorful. They're green and like turquoise and different blues, and sometimes there's black in there, so that's what I'm trying to decide. I have so many Wandering Jew starter plants in the kitchen window. They are going to be getting transferred to pots very soon. As I mentioned in the intro of this video, Hurricane Debbie was passing through our state of South Carolina. Because we live in the center of the state in Lexington County, we mainly got some much needed rain, which I always enjoy. Now, I love a good thunderstorm, but on the morning that I was filming these clips, there was just a nice steady rain. We are so grateful and we feel so blessed to have this place to live. And we truly love being home, especially when the weather is this beautiful. The following day, we made our trip to Charleston, and that is when we stumbled upon Eclectic Finds Antiques and Interiors. I'm sure you can see right away what caught my eye. I have our garden room project on my mind, so I knew that we had to stop and see what treasures we might find. As you can tell by this footage, my brain was trying to take it all in and process the potential for all of these pieces to be enjoyed somewhere inside or outside of our home. Okay, this outside section had so many pieces that are 100% our taste with that European garden style. I mean, the color, the patina, the shapes, I was in love with so many things out in that area. I'm going to keep them in mind for maybe a splurge purchase later on. Mainly, I loved the large bird bath. There were a set of Venetian urns, and then there was a pair of columns that I saw early on. So in stores like this, and especially this store, you really need to walk through the store a few times and really take your time. Take your time to look through each vendor's booth because the vendors will have their items layered and stacked, so you might miss a great piece that is tucked behind another piece. What I like to do and what I recommend is to take your phone and take photos of each of the pieces that you're interested in as you're walking through the store, and then refer back to those at the end when you're deciding what you want to purchase. It's also a really good idea to go ahead and snap a photo of the tag. That way you'll know which vendor booth the item was in, as well as the price. Now, they do offer shopping carts at this store if you prefer to grab your items and put them in your cart as you go along. I personally like to be able to maneuver in and out of all of the little tight spaces and dig through all of the little areas, so that's what I like to do on my first pass through. But they are also very happy to hold anything that you're interested in purchasing up at the front counter. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, you need to buy things when you see them, because looking at this footage, I regret not buying that large copper pot. But I do have a feeling that I'm going to be visiting this store again very soon. Oh my gosh, look at these little chairs. I loved these chairs. I love that sort of lattice back to them. These would be perfect with a small table in a little sunroom area, or even in the kitchen breakfast room. I loved this whole area because this vendor had lots of garden stuff. They had tons of beautiful pottery pieces. And I think once I settle on the paint colors in the house, that I'll have to come back down and see what pieces are still available. I actually almost purchased this set of terrariums, and I am seriously considering doing so, but I honestly prefer more of a gold or a bronze or a wrought iron finish, so I decided just to wait. As you'll see all throughout this tour, there are lots of shells and lots of coastal decor featured by many of the vendors. There are lots of homemade items, lots of shell mirrors, and different little hand-painted shells, all kinds of stuff, because this area is surrounded by water, so there are lots of things that refer to water, water living, birds, just different things like that, different colors, coastal colors, that all represent this area. I feel that I'm probably not alone in this, and that is that I feel like my design style has been evolving over the past several years. So, as we are working on our house renovation projects, I am also going to be refining our large furniture pieces, as well as all of the little accent pieces and the accessories and even the soft goods. I thought that this booth was just so pretty. I think that this is similar to my style in the fact that there's a combination of chippy and distressed painted pieces, as well as rustic natural pieces, and then there's also patterns and greenery mixed in. My husband pointed out this chandelier because he knew I would love it, and I was immediately wishing that we had 12-foot ceilings. While I really appreciate the calm of a neutral palette, I do love the energy and life that color and pattern can bring to your space. Wall panels and tapestries are the perfect way to do just that. These stunning shell mirrors were handmade by the vendor. One of these mirrors over a console table in your foyer would be a gorgeous statement piece. This is another vendor that was also making custom shell art. I am always drawn to silver pieces, even though I just sent a ton of them to the auction. I still love the teapots and coffee pots and certain trays and so forth, so I was looking at this teapot and I thought, I think I have one just like this, so I'm going to dig through my stash and see if I can find it. There is a vendor toward the back of the store that sells Debbie's Design Diary DIY paints and products. I am going to buy some of these on my next visit for sure. They are absolutely fabulous to work with. If you've never used them before, definitely give them a try. I do have lots of videos from the past few years where I use her products and I do love them. This painting really caught my eye. It has like that dark, moody vibe to it. It would be absolutely gorgeous in a little bit bigger frame, maybe something a little more ornate or chunky. I don't know what it is, but I am just loving all of these shell wreaths, and look at these barnacle wreaths. Aren't they absolutely gorgeous? And how cute is this little upcycled dresser? It has headlights, it has windshield wipers, and a bumper. So if you are in the Mount Pleasant area, please be sure to stop by and tell them that you heard about them on the Painted South YouTube channel. When we finally left the store and we were heading back home, we drove into a storm from one of the outer bands of Hurricane Debbie. To me, there is absolutely no better art to look at than what you will find in nature. So I ended up getting one of these. I already had that one, which is a lot rustier, and they had one that matched. So I was excited to be able to finally have a pair of these. You know, I like to get things in pairs. And the color's a little bit different. Obviously, the one I had was outside a lot longer, and so I like that garden look. Oops, this is from the tag. I need to take that off. But they both have a rusty finish, and this one will get rustier. I may end up painting these at some point, like if I get tired of this rusty chippy look, but that's the look I'm going for, that garden look. So I was glad to find a mate for that one. Now the next two that I purchased were the medium size, and they are in this gorgeous chippy vintage green color. I love these, and I would have gotten the large ones in this color as well, but I did already have that off-white one, and so I got one to match that one in that large size. But I did get two in this medium size in that color, and then I also got the small size. So you can see the difference there in height. I just love these. I know I went kind of wild with them, but they were on sale when I purchased these. This particular vendor was 25% off. Now, the large one I got was not on sale. I believe that one was regular priced, but these were 25% off. So the small ones were 25, and then they were on sale. The medium ones were, hold on, the medium one was 35. Now, just for this vendor, 443, I'm sure they run different sales from different vendors all throughout the month, so whenever you get a chance to visit there, just check and see what sales they are running. But I was so happy to find all of these, and I love that color. Now we are outside on this blazing hot porch. I'm not going to be out here long, but I did want to show you these baskets. They were from that same vendor. I know this won't focus in on that price, but they were $50, also 25% off. I love these hanging baskets. You probably saw them while I was showing you the footage from the store. This basket part matches two tall stands that I already have. It's not the same color, but it's sort of that same basket look there. So I love these. They are a super, super, super pale, almost like a pale mint green. It's almost white, but a mint green. I was trying to get the camera to focus in on the finish, and it just won't because there's so much going on behind it. Now this is our dappled willow. This thing is going to get cut and moved. It's growing like crazy. It is out of control. There we go. If I put my hand behind it, you can see a little bit like right there. It's kind of greenish. So anyway, very cool. Again, same vendor, 443, $50. So they were about 40, I think. The next fun find that I purchased from that store was this really awesome corbel. Now you know right away I'm going to paint it. It is a very neat color, but it does have some chips and so forth. So I will be painting this. It has so much detail. I just can't wait to paint it. It's going to be awesome. And I really wish that it had a mate because I love buying things in pairs, but I loved it so much I went ahead and got it. And I think it was like $15. Super great price. And I'm thinking about adding a wood top to that. Now, of course, it's upside down. And I thought it would make a really cute shelf somewhere where there isn't enough room to have a pair. Sometimes you don't need a pair of things. So I really loved all of the details. Right now it's this navy blue color, but I think it'll really come to life and look really awesome when I get it all finished. So that's going to be a fun project in the future. Now, I know a lot of people are like, I'm not buying something unless I know exactly where I'm going to use it, and that is a fantastic mentality. But a lot of times I just buy stuff because I like it, and then I'll find somewhere to put it. Look, my house isn't totally done, so there's always going to be things that I'm going to be swapping about and moving around. So yeah, I don't always know where I'm going to put things, but I do know when I like things. So I went ahead and purchased that as well. The last thing that I purchased was this little table, and I put it up on here so you could see the scale. It's just going to be used as a plant stand or maybe just a little drink table. I just really thought that it was super cute. Now it does have a glass insert that is wrapped up right now, and I'm going to leave it that way because I am going to be touching up the paint just a little bit. As you can see, that finish kind of looks good with those sconces behind it. But I just noticed, and I don't know when it happened. It's okay if it was like that already. I didn't notice. So right there, that is broken. Now that's probably going to need to be welded or maybe some kind of glue or adhesive. I think it would be fine. Like I didn't even notice it, and it traveled up. I don't know when it got broken, but this table wasn't super expensive. I think it was also on sale, so no big deal. But I still love it. I love the finish on it. Like I said, I'm probably going to touch it up. I think there's some chippy spots on the top. We'll fix that little broken area down there. It's not going to affect how the table functions, really. Just have to be careful with it in the meantime. But I love that little table. And like I said, it has a little glass insert, which I'm going to leave wrapped up so that doesn't get broken. And that is the last thing that I purchased from that store. Well, thank you all so much for spending your time with me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, I would love for you to do so. Also, I would love to hear from you in the comment section below. Please let me know your thoughts on the color. Should I go with more of a light neutral color like an antique white, or should I go with a warm color? Do you think I should go with a blue-green, a green-green, or kind of what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on that situation? I would love to hear from you. So hopefully I will be picking a color. I'm going to read your comments after this video post, and I'll be picking a color and getting to work in that room this week. So thanks again for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Until then, bye for now.